Nikki's really running for vice president. That's my sense. I think she has a problem because she first said she wouldn't run if President Trump ran.
She's going to have to do a little more than just say, I'm young.
If everyone's going to run on these policies, Trump gets to say, I'm the one who accomplished all that. Thanks for the free commercial, everyone.
I will simply say this. May the best woman win.
As we mentioned, Nikki Haley, former South Carolina governor, kicking off her presidential campaign today. But there are others potential, as you see the two declared, former President Trump and Nikki Haley there. The other woman on that list, however, potential 2024 candidate with us tonight. We welcome in South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem. Governor, thanks for being here.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
It's on this day that another female former governor gets in this race. Have you made your decision?
Oh, no. I'm focused on South Dakota. We're in the middle of our legislative session. We've got some important proposals, the largest tax cut in South Dakota history that we're looking to get across the finish line. And frankly, Brett, we're defending this country from China right at home because our president isn't doing anything. I
want to ask you about that, but you have previously said that you did not believe that former President Trump offered the best chance, in your words.
That's not true. What I said is he wasn't necessarily the only messenger for us, and was pretty clear that it is all of our responsibilities at this point in time to be the messenger for the Republican Party. We have for too long relied on one person to tell the story of what American freedom is, and I think all of us need to take up that mantle and make sure the American public knows what we're fighting for.
So do you think other candidates should be in the race?
I think that that's what America is so special and why it's so great is because we elect our leaders and the American public gets to make informed decisions. So this process at times is ugly and divisive, but hopefully we end up with a strong president in the White House because God knows we need one.
Well, the last question on this. Washington Post says tracking presidential candidates. Kristi Noem's team is already watching potential rivals on the national stage, with one advisor contrasting her with DeSantis. Governor DeSantis late last year, spokesman openly criticizing the Florida governor's record on abortion. Are you kind of creating a lane? When are you going to make your decision?
I am really focused on my job, and I think what happens in this country too often is people focus so much on the next position they're running for, they forget to do their job that they have that day in front of them.
Well, I want to ask you about your current job. You tweeted out today, South Dakota drew a blueprint for standing up to communist China, reject communist lockdowns, ban TikTok for government devices, block China from state contracts, protect our ag land. States must follow this blueprint. On the land, you are pushing a bill that's going through the legislature now that would essentially block foreign purchase?
Well, it doesn't block them. A lot of states are just going with a flat-out ban and trying to push something like that through their legislature. What we're doing is setting up a mechanism by which we have a CFIUS board at the state level that allows some accountability. It allows a board of experts to come in and look at land purchases, and if it's a country that hates us, then they make a recommendation to the governor if that should move forward or not. It makes sure that we still are able to do business in this country, but that if you're coming from a country like China that has for hundreds of years sought to destroy the United States of America, that we can stop those types of purchases, which isn't happening right now. Listen, since 2010 to 2020, we have seen China come in and invest in our land. They've increased those purchases by 5,300%. They have billions of dollars worth of assets here in this country, and they're looking to control our food supply.
For the farmers who are concerned that this is going to hurt their business, there's a couple of them who've spoken out. A farmer in South Dakota for the Corn Growers Association said he was concerned that there would be states with a patchwork of state laws turning away countries that farmers actually normally engage with, and perhaps this is a better situation for the federal government to handle.
Well, the federal government's not handling it. If you look at that instance that happened up in North Dakota where China came in and bought up some of the land that was near their Air Force base, the federal government did not address that situation. In fact, they said that their hands were tied, that they couldn't do anything about it. You know, I am a farmer. I've spent my entire life earning my living from farming until I got into government. I also served in Congress and was on the committee that negotiated our trade agreements, that worked on making sure we had markets open to our farmers and ranchers so they could feed the world. That is why I've taken the approach that I have in proposing this board, that we have some people with the expertise and the discernment to look and evaluate every single purchase that comes from a country like China and go through that recommendation process, and then the governor has the ability to say yes or no. If it's bad for our country, and if it allows them to get an asset that's close to one of our national security bases, such as we have in South Dakota with Ellsworth Air Force Base, that we have the chance to reject that and not let it move forward. Listen, Ellsworth Air Force Base in South Dakota is going to be the home to the B-21s, the next generation bomber that will protect this country far into the future. It's important that South Dakotans and the country takes seriously our responsibility to make sure China can't set up shop next door and conduct surveillance on us.
And obviously we heard from the governor of Montana and officials in Alaska, but your take on the shoot down of what we've seen so far, 4 of these things. We don't know 3 of them.
No, we don't. And that's what is such a disgrace from this White House. In fact, we just had updates from the White House earlier in the last 24 hours that said, yes, we have shot down some items. We don't know what they are. We don't know what they have on them as far as capabilities, and there could be thousands more. That's the extent of the clarity that governors have gotten from the White House and from the Department of Defense. So it's shameful, and it's neglectful of what this country should be doing.
Let me ask you one more question about policy. You banned gender-affirming care for transgender individuals under the age of 18, signing this bill titled Help Not Harm. It got pushed back from places like the ACLU and other places saying that it is harmful for transgender kids. How do you respond to that?
You know, there's a bill that worked its way through our legislature that I signed into law this last week, that for children under the age of 18, that they would not be able to have medical procedures that would do their gender-affirming processes outside of a medical reason, and that it involves their family and decisions they would work on with their doctor, but making sure harmful procedures weren't happening that were compliant with just gender-affirming definitions. And so that is a bill that went through a lot of debate and discussion in our legislature that was signed into law a few days ago.
Well, Governor, we appreciate your time, and when and if you make your decision, we'd love to have you back.
Sounds good. Anytime.
Okay.
Thank
Thanks,
you, Brett.
Governor.